Hey, it is December the 31st, 2017. Y'all, it's cold as hell out here. Alright, if you can't tell, I think that it's about to start snowing outside, so I'm gonna make this brief, but I wanted to holler at y'all about a couple things. Alright, a couple things real quick, namely dealing with illusion. The act of us as people just not seeing things the way that they are, all right, and being taught to see things differently, all right, perhaps in a dysfunctional way. I wanted to talk to y'all about illusion. Now, yesterday was the anniversary, obviously, of Caitlin Nicole Davis's situation, and of course, we've been talking about it. There's been a lot of people talking about it. I think that we're making a lot of progress, and I think it's a very good thing that so many people are talking about it. That said, I want to discuss illusion because one of the topics or one of the notes that are brought up, and are probably brought up fairly often, is the notion of missing Caitlin. You know what I mean? Like, she's lost. And that's something that we can't get back. Everybody feels a certain sort of a way about that. All right. They talk about Caitlin as though we lost her for good. All right. Thing is, I want to suggest that perhaps we feel this way, and we all do feel this way to some extent, but perhaps we feel this way because we're taught to see things maybe a little bit askew, maybe in the wrong way, all right? Because let's think about it, all right? Even on the anniversary of Caitlin's death, you have to know, and Courtney noted quite clearly, that Caitlin Nicole Davis's name is spreading like wildfire, and guess what? It'll continue to spread like wildfire. It'll only get bigger and bigger. So you might look at the whole situation like we lost this precious young girl and her talent, but you could look at it that way because she is gone in a sense physically. But in every single other sense, besides physical, you have to understand her presence is only bigger. It's only bigger and bigger, and it will continue to get bigger and bigger due to the nature of this whole situation. All right. So I just wanted to point out one little observation is that we tend to get very sad, very melancholy. And when I say we, I do mean myself as well. All right. We tend to do that. The reason is because we're looking at the situation just a little bit askew. We kind of have our blinders on a little bit. We're seeing illusions. All right. Caitlin isn't doing anything except growing at this point, and it really has everything to do with Caitlin and her actions, right? Caitlin is the one who started all this. That isn't to say, oh, you blame a little girl for hanging herself, but when in reality, she made all this happen, all right? It was her actions that set this all going forward, all right? Not only that, besides from physically, which is only one aspect, Caitlin Nicole Davis's entire self only continues to grow and spread like wildfire. I want to explain, this happens to certain people. This happens to certain people who, even after they die, their name simply only grows. Their legend only grows. Their folklore, it only spreads. All right. I'll give you the perfect example is Jesus Christ. You understand that Jesus Christ is only followed by like this many people and stuff in a small area. What happened that's crazy. What happened subsequently is that his name just continued to get bigger. I need a stand. Anyways, some people, their lives happen like that. You understand? Even after they're supposedly gone, physically gone, they only get bigger. People only think about them more. All right. I also do want to mention that there's celebrities, and there's always been celebrity. I'm talking about politicians. I'm talking about athletes. I'm talking about anybody who's got money who likes people to look at them. All right. There's many celebrities. In fact, most celebrities, they'll only decrease in notoriety. All right. Over time, people will absolutely even forget who they are. The people who remember them will dwindle and dwindle and dwindle till there are no more people. All right. Meanwhile, we have people such as Caitlyn. Their legacy will only grow. Do you see what I'm saying? It is kind of an illusion. It is kind of dependent on the way that we look at things to know who it is that's lost. Because we have people who are alive today who are celebrities who love that fame and love that attention. Not only that, they love all the different perversion behind it. We have people who are alive today who are as gone as you could ever be, basically. They're riding their own bus ticket to nowhere. All right, and that's where they'll go inevitably. You have to understand that that's taking place. All right, so it really depends on how you look at it as to whether or not Caitlyn's gone, whether or not people who are alive today that we see on the streets, whether or not they're gone. It really is debatable. But while we're on the topic, I also did want to discuss the illusion of free will. All right. And it's a very debatable topic. Now, a lot of people, especially people who don't believe in God or maybe don't believe in the God of the Bible, they might be quick to debate. All right. The idea of free will has taken the bulk of my 31 years here on this earth to remember and to know certainly that free will is not something that we have. It's something that we think that we have. You know, and that's kind of important to remember, because what I want to suggest for everybody out there is that Caitlyn Nicole Davis, as a 12-year-old girl, she didn't know what she was doing. All right. And I think a lot of people would agree. She didn't. She didn't understand the gravity of that she was going to lose her life, the reaction that people would have to it. Right. Yet and still, she did it. Right. Something in her body caused her to do this. And meanwhile, what it did, in a sense, can look unfortunate because we lost her. We'd rather have her. Right. But at the same time, what she did was she cinched her name into history. She made sure that people gonna remember her. All right. She could have done all sort of different actions. She could have blown off her time. She could have never documented none of this. All right. She could have went on to live another year or so, maybe committed suicide. Maybe nobody would have known. You understand? There's a lot of people out there who do that. Maybe we would have never heard of her. But yet and still, she made it very very enticing, very welcoming to come into her story. She made this happen. She didn't exactly know what she was doing. But yet and still, she set into progress a whole host of actions, a whole host of justice that inevitably will come down like a hammer. Caitlyn Nicole did this. She didn't exactly know what she was doing. However, this young girl, might I suggest, some of us believe, was always destined to do exactly what she did. Why? Because it needed to be done. Why? Because there's all sort of justice that still needs to be had. All right? And what we need is warriors, in a sense. What we need is angels, and a lot of people understand that angels actually are big warriors. What we need is warriors, all right? Because we see how disgusting this situation is. I believe we're all starting to understand how unaffordable situation is, all right? Caitlyn Nicole, shine the brightest spotlight that you can possibly shine on the whole problem. What are we going to do about the problem? Well, we're doing it. We're already doing it. It's going to happen. It is just a matter of time. Everybody's going to experience justice. Why? See, the thing is, we don't have free will either. We might think that we do. We're all participating in something that's very much bigger than us. We don't know what we're doing. However, we know exactly what we're doing. And justice is going to come, all right? Irregardless, it ain't no stopping it. You could try to run from it, try to hide from it. It will find you. We will find you. All right? Anyways, y'all, God bless America. There is one and only God. His son, his name is Jesus, y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. It's December the 31st, 2017.